even know what we're talking about right now. This is just a book haul. This better be a winner. Let's do an indie bookstore book haul. I have so many books to share with you guys. I did a little book shopping. We did a big book haul, and all of these books are from some of my favorite indie bookstores, and quite honestly, you cannot get some of these books anywhere else other than indie bookstores, so I am very excited to show them to you. Some of them have been on my TBR forever, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be 5-star reads. So we're going to start out with Side Bookstore, which is opening really close to where I live in Raleigh, North Carolina. So right now they have a temporary space, but they are up and running. And when I tell you, they have quite an excellent selection. So let's get into this bag first and see what we've got in here. So there are some that I'm really excited about in this bag. So first off, we're going to start with the book that is Brightside's current book club read. They're going to be a bookstore that has monthly book clubs, and this one is a little out of my comfort zone, but also kind of right in my comfort zone. They are going to start with a fall Gilmore Girls vibes contemporary romance. Now, this one I have not heard of before. It's different this time, and it is by Joss Richard. Now, this is a contemporary romance, and if you know anything about me, I like and read contemporary romance, but I don't often get as excited about it as I do a good, like, emotionally damaging fantasy romance. So this is basically, it is a sweeping second chance romance. A twist of fate forces two former roommates back into their beloved New York City brownstone, where they must confront the events that led to their engagement and the unresolved feelings between them. Now listen, let me be really honest with you guys. Am I excited to read this? No. Might I like it? Absolutely yes. I was not excited to read the Chestnut Spring series by Elsie Silver, and tell me why that is one of my favorite contemporary, like, cowboy romances. Never thought those words would come out of my mouth. Love that series. So this is a standalone. It's super short. I'm reading it because it is Brightside's book club pick, and I am local, so I'm probably going to go to the book club, and I think maybe the author might be there. I'm not sure. I know that she's going to have author events usually with her book club picks, so this one is going on my November TBR. I think it's going to be a quick palate cleanser contemporary romance. I will absolutely let you know, like, if it breaks the standards and it's more than that. Like, there is definitely potential in here for this book to be, like, way better than I thought it was going to be. And I'm not saying that I'm going to hate it or anything. I'm not excited. But it's not a fantasy romance, so I'm going to have to be wowed in order to, you know, give this a high rating. But I will be reading it. It looks super short. It looks super fun. It is giving, like, Gilmore Girls / like Gossip Girl vibes. I feel like I think of, like, Gossip Girl and, like, the Humphreys when I think of a brownstone. Theirs wasn't a brownstone though. They were in, like, the warehouse. I don't know what I'm talking about. But this was my first thing from the Brightside Bookstore, okay? Now, number 2 for our dark and spicy girlies, completely the opposite. I read Beautiful Venom earlier this year. It was my first ever Rina Kent book, and I am also going to be reading Kiss the Villain. I think this is a completely different series, a different set of characters. I could totally be wrong because I think the second book in the Beautiful series is called Beautiful something else. So Kiss the Villain is an MM romance, meaning it is between two men. I have never read one of those before, but I am super excited about it based on some of my favorite swoon-worthy relationships in the Zodiac Academy series that were between two men. So I'm here for my first MM romance. Would we like a live reading of, or not a live, a, like, reading vlog of me reading this, because I feel like there might be some moments in here. I don't know what happens in MM romances. I don't know what goes on. I'm probably going to be like, whoa, what? I actually really love that it's got these. I haven't seen this version of the sprayed edge of Kiss the Villain anywhere, so I'm not sure where this came from, and I feel like it was a really cute find at this bookstore because you cannot find this version. But so when I found this at Brightside Bookstore, I was like, oh, I've never seen that version before. This is, oh, here are our guys right here. I don't know who they are. Is it going to be fine if I pick this up? I know that this is part of, like, Rina Kent writes standalones, but they're, like, standalones that are interconnected and they kind of happen in sort of a linear order. I do feel like technically you can pick it up wherever you want, but, like, I'm sure there are going to be some characters in here that I'm like, who the heck are those people? But our main people are going to be the two guys, obviously. So yeah, is anybody going to yell at me for picking this up without having read any of the other books in this particular series by Rina Kent? Is this Lords or is this some, no, this is not Lords. What is this one? But also that looks like a 1. Is this a new series? Is this This is what's going to happen when we do a book haul. It's going to be really chaotic because I'm not going to have read any of these. So unlike the really smart, amazing, know-it-all Aries that you normally get, I'm not going to know what I'm talking about at all. I'm going to fully admit to you right now, I'm not going to know what I'm talking about with any of these books. But this has a 1 on it. So maybe this is is this the first book in a new, like, series? But basically, it says, I'm a golden boy, a genius, a law student, the heir to the Carson Empire. See, I should probably know who that is. And then we have Caden Lockwood, a criminal who's teaching criminal law. I can't expose what he's done without unmasking my secret life. And it says, I'm starting to realize this dangerous game might have no winners. Now, when it's, I love enemies to lovers. I love red flag men. And I feel like we've definitely got a red flag man in here. He's just into men. And I'm going to have a really great time reading this. I don't even know what we're talking about right now. This is just a book haul. What do we do with book hauls? Kiss the Villain. Beautiful. Sprayed edges that you can't find anywhere else. Does anybody know what version this is? It's not the Barnes & Noble version. It's not the Walmart version. I don't know what it is. But it was at Side Bookstore. So it's going on my TBR. It's a standalone. It's dark romance. And it is in a world of other standalones that are dark romance also. All right, these next 2 I'm really excited about because these honestly were just book trophies. Actually, one of them was a book trophy and one of them is not. But one of my literally like god tier books from 2025 that I've been yelling at you to read, I didn't have the second 2 books in the series. There are 3 books out right now. It is the Compelling Fate Saga. Right now it's 3 books. Y'all listen, the 4th and final book comes out in December of this year. So it comes out literally next month. There are 3 whole books that you need to get through before you can read the final book in the series. And this got picked up by a traditional publisher, but that's not going to change the release date. It's still going to be out this December. The first book is called A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly. It is so good. And I don't know, Fergus is in the bright side bag. I don't know which one of these is book 2 or book 3 because I read them on Kindle. I feel like this is book 2. Yeah. So this is book 2 in the Compelling Fate Saga. The Compelling Fate Saga, like, it was a god tier book for me because it was giving me the vibes, the feelings, the way that I felt when I read ACOTAR for the first time. And I feel like Romantasy has been so predictable, so kind of like not boring, but just like nothing really stands out and it all starts to run together. This series is going to feel fresh. It's going to give you the like, oh my gosh, I've never felt like this before, or like I've only felt like this a couple times in my life. The romance in here is absolute god tier romance, god tier relationship, character development, like characters that I care about, very compelling story, funny, haha, the Compelling Fates. But it's really good. Book 1 and book 2 are absolutely amazing. I will tell everybody to read these, put these on your TBR, and it's about to be a completed series. It's so good. Now, if the last book comes out and it's like the worst thing I've ever read, don't worry, I'll come back and tell you. But right now, this is literally a god tier series. I was feeling like I was never going to find anything. Like, you know, ACOTAR was a first for me. It was a first experience, and Throne of Glass, whatever. I was thinking I was never going to find that vibe. We got it. If you're in a reading slump from either one of those books, this yanked me out of a reading slump so hard. And this, I will tell you, book 1 is one where if you come and tell me that you DNF'd it and you didn't get literally to the last like 10 pages, which is where everything kind of unfolds, or maybe it's 20 pages, you did it wrong and I need you to pick this book up. This is a book that you cannot DNF. Like if you want to decide that you don't like it after you finish book 1 and you've read book 1 from page cover to cover, that's fine. I accept that. But I've had a couple of people come and tell me, like people will DM me and they're like halfway through the book and they're like, what are you talking about? This is so cookie cutter. This is like every other romantasy. It's so boring. I can't get into it. And I get really offended because they're kind of mean. They're like, why would you tell me this? Did you lie? Did you get paid to talk about it? Number 1, no, I did not get paid to talk about this series. And number 2, literally the person who DM'd me that, we love a self-aware queen. She came back like a month later or a couple weeks later and was like, girl, I had to come back and DM you because I was wrong. I listened to you, I got to the end of the book, and I should never have said anything. I should have finished the book. So like, there's your proof. There's your, what do you call it? What is that called? Your review? I don't know. There's your sign. Pick it up. It's one of the ones you need to let cook. And it's not boring all the way through. It's just like, you hear me rave and rave and rave about it. So I'm assuming people are probably picking it up thinking it's going to be like, oh my God, life-changing from page 1. No, this is also the beginning of a fantasy series. So while it's good and it's interesting and it has romance, it's got a little bit of spice, it's like got things, it's not going to really get you into that like otherworldly, like, oh shit feeling until you get to the very end of the book. So if you're reading the Compelling Fate Saga and you've DNF'd book 1, you do not get to have an opinion on it. If you finished book 1 and you hate it, valid. Otherwise, I don't want to hear anything. Now, this next book I picked up because I have seen so many people say that it's a 5-star read, and everyone comes into my comments all the time when I talk about dark academia and they ask me if I've read this book. So if you're a dark academia girly, apparently Nightshade by Autumn Woods, this one's on Kindle Unlimited, but I'm so sure that I'm gonna like it that obviously I also want to support my local indie bookstore. I'm so sure that I'm gonna like it that I got a hard copy of it. So this says, he'll burn the world down for her, but she'll burn his to the ground. Wait. I mean, so they're both red flags? Is that what that means? This is Mystery, Unaliving, Revenge, Welcome to Sorrow Song University. I believe, is this a standalone? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Oh, also this takes place in the Scottish Highlands. Hell yeah. So isolated in the Scottish Highlands, Sorrow Song University only welcomes students from the most powerful families. So our FMC is a scholarship attendee, meaning that she is not one of the most powerful beings from one of the most powerful families. So she's sort of an outcast. It's giving like Zodiac Academy. I literally don't know anything about this aside from the fact that it's like a spicy, romantic, dark academia. I think I've heard that it's a standalone. Oh, no. It's a Sorrow Song University book 1. So this is not a standalone. I don't know if book 2 is out yet, but I literally haven't heard anybody say anything bad about this book. Everything I've heard about it has been like, you have to read this. You have to read this. And then everybody in my comments, when I recommend a gothic dark academia, they're like, why are you recommending this and you haven't read Nightshade? I'm gonna tell you right now, Carrie Lake is my standard when it comes to a gothic dark academia. So if this disappoints me, I'm gonna let you guys know and I'm gonna be mad about it. But I feel like dark academia, you get a little bit of an extra boost right out the gate just because I have such a soft spot for dark academia. But I will definitely let you know about this one. If anybody's read it, what do we think? Do we agree? Is it for the dark academia girlies? Is it for me? Zodiac Academy, Carrie Lake, gothic, emotional damage. I will say that I did see a person recommending this and I'm not quite sure whether or not I trust them yet, because we have had some where like we're in heavy agreement and then some where I'm like, what in the world? Do we even like the same things? Which is fine because reading tastes can be diverse, but I'm like, this better be a winner. All right. Okay, so let's move on to Burning Pages Bookstore. We went a little crazy at Burning Pages. This weighs so much that I'm definitely gonna have to put it down on the floor. Burning Pages is in Wilmington, North Carolina. It's about 2.5 hours from me. It is literally the cutest little bookstore. It's in a shipping container. It's in the cargo district of Wilmington, North Carolina. I like to take little book getaways to it sometimes. So if you're local to the area, if you're in the North Carolina area or you're in driving distance from Wilmington, let's meet up because I go to Burning Pages Bookstore all the time and they just had a romantasy ball on Halloween. Super fun. So let's go over the books. There are some in here that I really need some feedback on because I've never heard of, but the way that they completely enraptured me, I'm very excited. Okay. So we have, number 1, we've got these beautiful sprayed edges. Obviously, I was got by the sprayed edges, but this is Until the World Falls Down by Jordan Lynde, okay? This says, Labyrinth meets Beauty and the Beast in this spellbinding, sexy romantasy debut about a woman with a broken heart, the seductive immortal who imprisons her, the magical labyrinth that may be her salvation, and the dangerous attraction that could destroy them both. Now, is this a standalone? It doesn't say book 1. There's not a 1 anywhere. So it looks like maybe she makes a bargain. It's about a woman who is heartbroken at the beginning of the story. And she makes a plea who is heard by Enver, an immortal who is as wicked as he is beautiful. That's exactly what I like to hear about a beautiful, wicked, immortal being who's really hot, who's going to imprison our FMC. Now, why do y'all complain about that? You know the FMC's not gonna be happy about that. And I'm sitting here like, take me away. Absolutely. If a beautiful, immortal, scary, sexy man or what beast, whatever this is, I don't know what he looks like. I'm assuming he looks like a man at some point because this is not a monster romance. I would be like, yes, like, could I bring my husband with me? Maybe, like, can he tag along and maybe we can make it a why I choose? But like, I'm going. Every time this happens, I feel like these FMCs are like, oh no, this is the worst thing. I hate him. He's so beautiful, but shut up. Shut up. That's the most unbelievable thing about a fantasy book ever, is the way that the FMC reacts to like the most amazing thing in the world that could happen to her, that like literally anybody would want to happen. So we're gonna read this. Y'all, this next one I'm really excited about. So there's two, they're by the same author. First, we're gonna talk about Psychotic Obsession by Leigh Rivers. You cannot find this hard copy book anywhere. Like, yes, you can get it off Amazon, but like it is so rare that a bookstore carries Leigh Rivers, and I don't know why, because Leigh Rivers is absolutely immaculate. So Leigh Rivers wrote the Edge of Darkness trilogy, which is a god tier series from this year. I did like an absolute rave review on it. It's amazing. It's dark romance, so it's not fantasy. But listen. So in the Edge of Darkness series, it number one takes place in Scotland. They're like a Scottish American family. So the men have like Scottish American accents. And we have a couple, it's like enemies, lovers to enemies, to maybe lovers at the end, no spoiler, but it is lovers to enemies, and they absolutely hate each other at the beginning of the series. It's super dark, super traumatic, like definitely read the trigger warnings on that series, and it's dark romance, so it's not fantasy, doesn't have any fantasy in it, but it is one of the darkest, most emotionally unhinged things I've ever read. It will give you such emotional damage, and then it will put you back together. It's not gonna be one of those books I know people like to know where it's not gonna be like torturous at the end. Like, it's not gonna make you super sad like when you get to the end of it, but it's one of the most disturbing things, but also like super spicy things that I've ever read in my entire life. Yeah, it is. Listen, if you want to cry, you want to feel all the emotions, you want to be emotionally manipulated by Leigh Rivers, who is a master at it, read the Edge of Darkness trilogy. It's a completed trilogy, but Psychotic Obsession, one of my favorite things about the Edge of Darkness trilogy was Tobias, who is our main male character's dad. Listen, I never thought anybody would catch me saying that I was more attracted to someone's dad than to them. But Tobias Mitchell, I would crawl on my knees and bark like a dog for that man. I'm so much more obsessed with him than Cade. It's not even funny. Like, we love Cade. Cade is giving sort of like dark romance, Darius Acrux. Like, he's got an attitude problem. He's dark. He's sarcastic, like red flag. Tobias Mitchell would make me say daddy. 100%. Now, Tobias Mitchell, let me tell you why I like him. He is a certified, medically diagnosed psychopath. So it's called Psychotic Obsession. And he has a very dark past with Cade's mom, so they are not currently together. So number one, I'm picking this up because I know the end of it is going to rip my heart out, because it's not a spoiler. If you've read Edge of Darkness, Tobias and Arya are not together, and you're not supposed to read this first, so I promise you that's not a spoiler. They are not together. They don't end up together. And this is about them. So it's not going to have a happily ever after. It's going to be a lot more dark and disturbing than the Edge of Darkness was. And this man in this book, now listen, in Edge of Darkness, he's on his meds. He's not normal, but he's like really working on himself. You can see like the journey that he's made, and he is a very amazing dad and person in the book. This is his origin story, where he is in psycho mode. And for some reason, I'm real interested and attracted to psychotic version of Tobias Mitchell. Someone tell me what that says about me. Like, if you say it's a red flag MMC, I want literal psychopath. I want psychopath. And I feel like Leigh Rivers writes some really dark and unhinged bookmen. And I feel like this might be the darkest one that I've read when it comes to how much of a red flag the guy is. But anyway, I'm excited because I know the ending is not happy. I don't know what that says about me. That's why I'm excited to read it. I'm also excited because I already love Tobias Mitchell. So hopefully this doesn't make me not love him, because he's going to be completely unhinged in here. And this is a standalone. Don't read this without reading the Edge of Darkness series, okay? Don't read it as a prequel. I personally, having already read Edge of Darkness, I think this is going to hit me a lot harder, knowing what happens and where he ends up. So really excited about Psychotic Obsession. Now, speaking of, I found a hidden gem in this bookstore. Speaking of Leigh Rivers, now she writes dark romance, dark and unhinged. She also wrote a fantasy series, and you can't find that anywhere. I found it. I found it at Burning Pages Bookstore. It is called Satanic Shadows. It's super short. Now, this is part of a series. This is not a standalone. But this, I cannot wait to read a dark romance author's dark romantasy. Like, this is a romantasy, it's fantasy. It's not a traditional dark romance. I'm pretty sure the romance is still fairly dark in here, and I'm pretty sure that this is enemies to lovers. So it says, Seraphine Winters had a normal life. One she misses when she's kidnapped and taken to an island in the middle of nowhere. Oh my gosh, wait, this is a dark academia. This is a dark academia. It says, a magical academy, a castle full of immortal beings, and the only way she can leave is if she passes her classes. But as a human, she's hated just for breathing. So this is giving like super dark romance version of like Zodiac Academy. I'm sat for this. I've also not heard anybody say anything bad about it. I feel like this actually is going to be a really good one. I'm expecting Satanic Shadows to be like a 6 or 7, like God tier read. Okay, I cannot wait, and you cannot find a hard copy of this anywhere in person. But Side Bookstore has all of the Leigh Rivers collection because they have really good taste. So Satanic Shadows, if you want a buddy read with me, I might put it on there as my December book club pick. For November, we're reading The Ascended, but I think I might force you guys to read Satanic Shadows with me for December, because I've been trying to read it forever and everybody keeps picking the like popular books, and I'm like, this should be a popular book. I think this is probably going to end up being one that I tell you is like ridiculously underhyped. Okay, all right, so this next one I believe is Games and Trials. This is called The Trials of Elysian, and it is the Elysian series. It's number 1, absolutely beautiful. It says, trust the city, obey the city, or perish in the wastelands. Welcome to the 6 trials of Elysian. So it says the cursed versus the chosen. I really don't know much about this one, except that it is Games and Trials and a romantasy. So, oh wait, you guys, this is a signed copy. Burning Pages also just like carries. They have a lot of author events, and I believe that this is a local author, so I think she's from North Carolina. I could be wrong, but usually Burning Pages brings in local authors, and they sign a bunch of copies, and I didn't even realize that I got a signed copy. So this looks absolutely amazing, and apparently there are 3 books out, so I don't know if it's a completed trilogy, but it's got the Trials of the Elysian, the Trials of the Empyrean, and the Trials of the End. That sounds like a completed series, I'm not gonna lie. The Trials of the End sounds like the last book. So if you're looking for a potential completed series, I'm gonna start with book 1. I am judging literally based off of vibes with this one. The colors, immaculate. Love gold and teal. Absolutely love it. Love Games and Trials. Love romantasy. I honestly don't know where this could go wrong, so I'm gonna read it, and I do like to support local authors. So I feel like if someone lives near me, I'm more excited to read their book. So I believe this next book is Burning Pages' choice for their November book club. And I'm really interested in this one. Number 1, it's beautiful. Look at this. It's called Never Ever After by Lynde Tan. And it is Defy the Fairy Tale, Seize Your Fate. So this is monsters live in all places and sometimes they wear crowns. So this is atmospheric. We love atmospheric, rich with intrigue and emotion, folklore and secrets. It is a fairy tale retelling. Which one is it? So it says, fate isn't forged in iron. Well, we have this beautiful character art in here. This looks absolutely beautiful. So it says, Never Ever After is a powerful, fierce reimagining of Cinderella. It's the first in a new fantasy romance series. It is influenced by Chinese fairy tales. So this, I really, really love something that sort of mixes real like folklore and fairy tales with like romantasy. So this, I believe, is their book club choice for November. So if you want to come, I'm probably going to try to go to the book club meeting that they're going to have in Wilmington. So if you're close by, I hope I'm not wrong in telling you that this is, I'm pretty sure this is the book club, but who knows, whatever. I'll look it up on their website, but I know that the owner is very excited about this book. So I'm very excited about this book. Cinderella retelling. There's not very many Cinderella retellings. I feel like they're all Beauty and the Beast, and this is something new and fresh, and I cannot wait to read it. What's in the back? There are different vibes in the back. Oh, there's different vibes in the back. Literally absolutely beautiful. So I cannot wait. Absolutely excited. Okay, so this next one, number 1, I was really intrigued by the sprayed edges, but then I wasn't super excited by the cover, and I literally almost left this on the shelf. But then I read the back of it. But on the back it says, you bit me, he says. I lick my fangs, willing to bite him again. Snap out of it. But rage has consumed me. I am no longer myself. I don't remember my own name, let alone that I should be frightened of this version of me. I don't remember what I saw, but I looked at the back, or like I saw the cover and then I saw the sprayed edges. I was not super excited by werewolf. Like, werewolf things have to be like extra good, I feel like, for me to like them. I'm very picky. I didn't like Mate. I love the Wolf King and the Night Prince. Like, that's a really good werewolf romantasy for me. But basically, this is like, this says it has forbidden romance, an explosive start to an addictive new series. Like, I love something that's fast-paced, that like starts out good, that doesn't make you wait to get to the good stuff, especially when it's like a romantasy. Like, this is not like a high fantasy. This is a werewolf romance, you guys. Like, obviously, we want to get to it. So, also, it looks like our FMC is a werewolf and or a shifter in this. So, I'm really intrigued. I don't know anything about it other than it is a werewolf romance. It's got forbidden love, forbidden romance, forced proximity, and the person at the Burning Pages bookstore, like, I think I was hesitating, and she was like, no, it's really good. Pick it up and read it. So, clearly that was all I needed. I'm super easy. I picked it up and said, okay, got it. So if anybody's read this, I have never heard of this. I haven't seen it anywhere. I feel like it looks like something I should have seen and heard of. I literally just found it in this bookstore, and I feel like it might be a hidden gem. So this next one, I was already intrigued by the cover. I was already intrigued by the sprayed edges. And then I read, it feels like watching a CW show circa Vampire Diaries era. And I do mean that in the highest of compliments. You're not gonna wanna miss this one. And then the little blurb at the top says, so I held hands with the monster and I followed him into the woods. CW show giving circa Vampire Diaries? Yes, absolutely yes. Like, that is all I needed to read, but I feel like all of these are good. It says, slow burn mystery, perfect for readers who love their werewolves and vampires with extra doses of angsty romance. Yes. Every single one of these raves, like, if you want to pause and read them, every single one of them, I was like, oh yeah, yes. But CW show circa Vampire Diaries era is literally all I needed to hear. So this is called Blood Moon. It's by Britney S. Lewis. I have really high hopes for this one. If this is not a 5-star book, I'm going to be really disappointed because it has everything listed out that are my personal criteria for a 5-star book. So if this isn't a 5-star for me, you guys, I'm going to come back on here and I'm going to be sad. So I will let you know. I skipped one from Brightside. I actually met the author at Brightside, and this is, I think, one of the up-and-coming, like, indie books for 2025. So, rewind back to Brightside Books in Raleigh, North Carolina. Blood and Aether. I have definitely heard of this before, and the author is Harper Hawthorne. She is so nice. She has green hair, and of course I'm going to bond with an author who has colorful hair because that's my vibe. But this apparently is supposed to be a dark romantasy. Now listen, we have an FMC who is attending a prestigious college of magical arts and sciences nestled in the heart of Sophrosine, the city of gods. Okay, so we've got a magical college, a prophecy. Looks like we have enemies or rivals to lovers in here. I don't know what this is about, but I met the author and I was like, I like your vibe so much, I absolutely have to pick up your book. And other people were like, oh my gosh, yes, raving about it. So if you've read Blood and Aether, like, were you an ARC reader? Have you read it already? Like, let me know. But this, vibes. Author vibes. I was like, I like the way that you speak. I like you as a human, so you probably write a pretty good book. But this, I'm very excited. This is the first in a new series, so I'm sure we will have a cliffhanger at the end that makes me want to rip my hair out. Let me give you a TBR stack. We're going to put everything up. Do we like book hauls? Is this fun for everybody? Okay, here are all the books that you need to add to your TBR from my indie bookstore haul. How do we feel about book hauls? Do you like book hauls? Because I have no idea what I'm talking about. I haven't read these books, so I can't give you a review on them, but I can tell you my unhinged thoughts about what I think they're going to be. But let me know if you want a video like probably years or months from now when I finish every single one of these books, if you want me to come back and tell you the rating on every single one of them. All right, that's it. That's my indie bookstore haul. Let me know if you've read any of them. Are there any that I should immediately remove from my TBR? Like, are there any that are so bad that you're like, girl, you've made a grave error? Or are there any that you've read that I should immediately move to the top of my TBR? Let me know. What should the priority be? If you want to list them out in the priority that I should read them, that's absolutely super helpful. I've put all the titles and the authors of all of the books in the caption, and I've also put the indie bookstores that I got them from. So if you want to check out the indie bookstores, if you want to get your own copies and buddy read with me, yeah, just let me know which one we're prioritizing. Let me know which ones are top of the list and if there are any that I've made a mistake on. So that's it. That's my book haul of the day. hey, I'll see you next time. I'm working on my October reading wrap up, but October was probably like the weirdest month of the entire year for reading. So TBD if I'm even gonna give you an October reading wrap up. If you ask me really nicely, maybe I'll give you an October reading wrap up. But it was weird. It's weird, you guys. All right, bye.